Hi everyone, today you'll see how a small elephant is taken out of a well in a small village in India, how a nursing mother goose protects her pet gander from a wild eagle's attack, and you'll also witness the courageous act of a man from California who rushed into a burning house to save his dog. But before you start watching this video, please like and subscribe to our channel. Let's begin! Fire is one of the most terrible disasters for the life of any living creature, and in these shots, we are convinced of this. In the city of Quincy, Utah, a fire engulfed several neighborhoods with residential buildings. After everything had been put out, firefighters found a small puppy in one of them. Officer Ryan Lowe stated that the dog suffered minor burns and was visibly frightened. But its life was not in danger. Rescuers very carefully got the dog and delivered it to a safe place. The brave act of a lucky resident of Southern Carolina who saved his beloved pet from a burning house won the hearts of the whole world. Jose Guzman, unafraid of danger, ventured into the middle of a massive multi-house hell in Palo, California to save Gabbana, his beloved 2-year-old pit bull. He rushed into the epicenter of the fire without any equipment, where even the fire brigade did not dare to go. Jose's selfless act earned him the admiration of dog lovers around the world, and the video of the intense rescue quickly went viral. According to the hero, if this happened again, he would do the same as the first time. He, again, without hesitation, would rush into the flames for his pet. And here is a situation that you won't even believe right away. A rather unexpected couple found themselves in a difficult situation, and the help of firefighters was required to pull them out of a predicament. Our heroes are a German Shepherd named Taylor and a huge and 80-pound tortoise named Godzilla. They scared everyone around when they got stuck in a tunnel and couldn't find their way out. Normally, Godzilla uses this tunnel for hibernation due to its considerable depth, but this was the first time Taylor chose to accompany the turtle. And when he wanted to leave a cozy corner, he could no longer crawl back. To help our little explorers, the locals called the fire brigade, which quickly freed them. In India, a baby elephant was unexpectedly found in a well. Local residents went out in the morning and went to work when they heard the cry of an animal that called for help. When people found where this sound was coming from, they began to figure out how to get the poor animal. As a result, they called an excavator, which made a path on the side of the well, and then beat off a piece of the well itself with its bucket. The baby elephant immediately climbed to the surface and ran into the forest. As we can see, he has no special injuries, but only abrasions in some places, which will heal quickly. A random moment happened in Chicago. The policeman was in the perfect place just at the moment when the dog fell into Lake Michigan. The homeless dog wanted to drink, but couldn't resist and fell right into the lake. A few seconds later, a policeman ran to its aid, who quickly got it to land. Perhaps now this dog will go on patrols with him. Indonesia is not the best place for those who are afraid of snakes. A huge python crawled into the yard of the local residents, which people did not immediately notice. But the dog noticed the reptile and immediately decided to meet this unfriendly guest. Things began to heat up when a man and a couple of children heard a dog whining. Running to the sound, they saw a terrible picture. The snake wrapped itself around the body of the dog to break the bones and suffocate. The guys didn't just look at it, but rushed to help their furry friend. The eldest one tried to press the head of the reptile with a stick, but 2 younger brothers screamed and tried to injure the snake with sticks so that it would let go of the dog. After a few moments, all the same, it turned out to press the head, after which everyone began to unravel the dog. As a result, the dog was frightened and the snake crawled back into the forest to look for new food. The little squirrel was already so dehydrated that she had to leave the forest for civilization. There, she saw a man with water to whom she hurriedly ran up and began waving her paws so that he would give her a drink. At first, the man didn't understand what it wanted, and when he finally caught up, he opened the bottle and gave the wild animal a drink. Just like that, he helped a little creature who will remember his kindness for a long time. Here is a more exotic animal straight from Mexico. A man driving along the highway on his motorcycle noticed how something was moving on the side of the road. It turned out to be an armadillo, which was very weak from dehydration. The man took out a canister of water and watered the poor animal, and then bathed him. When the water had already run out and the armadillo had freshened up, the young man moved him to a safe place away from the road. That's how they both got a new friend. By the way, when threatened, armadillos possess a unique defense mechanism. They can jump up to 3 or 4 feet into the air and curl into a ball, using their armor as a defense. And some other species of these animals are in the Red Book, so be careful and help them. In the footage, an orangutan fell into the water around his enclosure while trying to pick up food thrown into the moat by a visitor of Zin Pearl Safari Park on Phu Quoc Island in Vietnam. The disturbing footage shows the orangutan waving its arms before disappearing under the surface of the water, while another orangutan dashed to the edge of the moat, apparently trying to help its mate. The zookeeper resolutely dragged the struggling primate to safety and administered CPR to revive it. As a result, the animal recovered, but it will not go near water for a long time. And for people, this is a lesson that on the signs in zoos they write "Do not feed the animals" for a reason. An unexpected acquaintance happened in the mountains of the Carpathians. The man was driving near the forest and stopped to rest. Suddenly, a brown bear ran out of the edge of the forest. Ordinarily, a person would lock themselves in the car and drive away, but not in this case. The video captures a moment when a man steps out from behind the wheel and starts looking for something in the car. At the same time, the bear approaches from behind, showing a patient demeanor, waiting for a person who seems ready to share something with him. After a few seconds, the driver takes some food out of the car and hands it to the bear. It turned out quite nice, but in such cases, you need to be very careful. Little friends also need help. The toad got stuck in a water container. She wanted to get there so badly, but ended up getting stuck with half of its body. The girl who saw this decided not to leave her to the mercy of fate, and with careful movements of the knife, cut the plastic and freed her. After which, she brought it home and put it in a box. This is done in order to make sure everything is fine with the reptile. The next day, she released the animal back to its natural habitat. Well, here the video directly shows that the owner is very inattentive to his pet. There are a lot of such situations around the world, and I would advise you to take the animal in your arms before entering the elevator, especially if it's small in size. We see how a woman entered the elevator and she had a dog on a leash. When the elevator began to close, the dog did not have time to go inside, and if raised, the dog would simply be strangled. Luckily, at that moment, there was a man in the hall who did not lose his head and very quickly unhooked the leash. Although they fell later, they all remained alive. A panda, ignoring instructions from its owner, can be seen slipping into part of the enclosure and subsequently having difficulty getting out of the situation. Although the panda is eventually rescued, there is a moment when it slips out of the keeper's hands during the rescue operation. Everyday life in the USA can be harsh. On a very ordinary day, a domestic gander was walking around the house when it was suddenly attacked by a wild eagle. He wanted to take the bird away to feast on it, but the hostess of the topless house ran out to help, while breastfeeding her child, and drove away the bird of prey. I think if you don't show this video, then when you tell the story, few people will believe in this situation. The eagle from the last video was so scared that on the way to its home, he fell right into the lake, where he got stuck in algae and reeds. People who often boat in these places saw this and began to save this proud bird. With the help of an oar, they took out an eagle and put it on board to dry it. Then they gave it something to eat. Rescuers said that this situation happened for the first time in their life. They took this bird to the shore, dried it, and fed it, after which the eagle flew off to its nest. Two brave railroad workers, with the help of a shovel, performed a daring rescue operation and freed a goat hidden deep in a snowdrift. Employees of the Austrian Federal Railroads (OBB) had been hard to work clearing railroad tracks in the GC's National Park after heavy snowfall. As they systematically removed the fresh snow, the goat's characteristic horns gradually emerged from the thick curtain of snow. After that, the goat began to wriggle, trying to free itself from the cavity into which it accidentally fell. In the end, the hardy goat managed to get back on its feet and quickly rush into the frosty undergrowth, while jubilant rescuers celebrated the successful life-saving attempt. Clean up after yourself, because videos like this will continue to appear on the net. Divers who were just relaxing in the sea noticed a baby dolphin that was clearly in distress. Getting closer, they saw that it was wrapped in a net. The man took out the mammal and freed it from this annoying net, after which he released it back into the water. I think now the animal will be much more comfortable to live. Let's move to Australia. This video was filmed at 3 a.m. when a man was driving down a highway and saw a koala and its baby wanting to cross the road. He immediately stopped and got out of the car to follow the koala. The man wanted the animal to cross the road safe and sound. At first, he slowly approached and let his hand be smelled so that the animal got used to him. Koala still did not want to cross to the other side, but successfully returned to the forest. Interesting fact, koalas' favorite delicacy is eucalyptus leaves, which are very toxic to animals, but koalas have a special digestive system that allows them to break down toxins and extract nutrients from the leaves. In this video, the victim was a cute dog that got stuck in a wheel tire. It stuck its head in and couldn't pull it back out. People who saw this called the veterinarians, who immediately rushed to the rescue. At first, they tried to lubricate the neck of the animal, but it didn't help. So they went to extreme lengths, and with the help of special tools, cut off part of the tire, after which the dog was free. It seems that people should be afraid of sharks because they're predators, and many films showed how these fish can devour everyone. But then we see how vacationers on the beach began to help the ferocious predator. 3 Australians came to the rescue of a 9-foot tiger shark reportedly caught by accident off the coast of Coral Bay. Deftly using pliers, this group skillfully freed the shark from the hook, allowing the creature to return to its natural oceanic habitat. Well, that's where we end today's video, in which you saw the heartbreaking moments of saving our little brothers. Such shots help to realize that we must treat animals with care, and in which case, come to their aid. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. See you in the new video.